Lovely Jamaica, I love the Caribbean. Sunlight and splendor, proclaim your name. Island of refuge, God bless Jamaica. All sad and strangers, proclaim your name. Sweet Jamaica, sweet, sweet Jamaica, now it keeps a home fire burning bright. We have festival, sweet Jamaica, sweet, sweet Jamaica, now it keeps a home fire burning bright. We have festival.
This film is about the life and times of Eddie Martin Noble. As you will see, he had a fascinating, interesting life, and despite all the obstacles and challenges that Eddie faced, he certainly lived a charmed life.
As a member of a middle-class family, I was not allowed to play with children in school who couldn't afford to wear shoes. That's the sort of snobbery that went on. And I mean, when I look back now, I'm ashamed. I feel ashamed. 2 weeks after, my mother had a letter from the head of the college. The college was run by the Catholic Church. And she had this letter from this, what they call them, the head, asking her to pay her a visit, but not to send me back to school until she had paid the visit. Of course, my mother immediately thought I'd gotten myself into some mischief. But I was just as mystified as she was, because I couldn't think of anything I'd done to warrant. However, when my mother went there, she was told that a number of parents, including the lady who had given me the lift back to Brimmer Hall, they had a meeting and decided that they were not going to have their children mixing with the son of a domestic worker employed by one of their friends. And unless they got rid of me, they would take their children away from the college. Well, before the war, the relationship between our colonial masters and the natives was always, and never anything else, master and servant. There were 10,000 of us by the end of the war that were in the Air Force. And 99.9% of us never went beyond the rank of sergeant. Well, the point is that even in the Air Force, the reason, the promotion is that if you were black, you didn't get promotion. It's as simple as that. It was a color bar. You see, during the war, Churchill promised General Anders, the commander of the Polish army in Britain, that at the end of the war, those Polish servicemen who wanted to could have a home in Britain if they desired. And that was my job, preparing Polish airmen for civilian life in Britain. One day, a young man turned up with a note from a family inviting me to a cocktail party that was being held in my honor. And among the sponsors of this party was a member of the very family, some of the families, or members of the very family who had me turfed out of college. I waited until they introduced me and all that. And when my turn came to reply to the introduction, I told them who I was, told them what they could do with their drink, and walked out. I know it was rude, but even now, after all these years, That bit of rudeness has given me more satisfaction than almost anything else I've done in my whole life. In 1972, I was mugged in Smithfield Market by 3 National Front youths, beaten up pretty badly, kicked about, and they left me lying in the gutter, unconscious. They thought I was dead. Fortunately for me, Sir Bartholomew Hospital is nearby, is near to Smithfield Market. A doctor was going off duty, saw me, and he revived me, went to the porter's lodge and called an ambulance. I was taken to the hospital. I spent 3 weeks in St. Bartholomew's Hospital, and I was attending Moorfields Eye Hospital for over 2 years after that. I never wore glasses before that, and my tear ducts, they kicked me so much that my tear ducts were completely destroyed. And anytime I get emotional now, my tears flow, and I have no control over it. And in this book, what I've tried to do is that for every incident of discrimination that I've experienced or heard about, I relate one of friendship or kindness. And I have also dedicated this book to all my white friends. Eddie Noble, there's only one thing. I'm going to live my life in such a manner that people have to respect me. And with respect will come recognition. It has worked for me, and I'm never tired of repeating it.
People like Eddie and the hundreds of thousands of people who not only came from the Caribbean, but from Africa, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and many former Commonwealth countries, settled and played a significant role in shaping and creating Britain into a tolerant society.
Have you ever looked in a face of age? Or lend your ears to what an old man had to say? 'Cause every generation of its life reflects a movie scene, often more than twice. Child is born to live within the master plan. Boy grows up, leaves his home to be a man. Vintage years of wine for the wine.